What's becoming more and more clear as Trump 2.0 starts kicking into high gear is that a snake has wrapped itself around the republic, and the head of that snake is Barack Obama. The handler or the financier or whatever term you want to use for whoever controls him, well, that's anybody's guess. An evil genius, a consortium of evil-minded oligarchs, someone, something else, doesn't really matter, all of the above. The actions are controlled by the snake. It is godless, atheistic communism we were warned about personally by the Queen of Heaven in Fatima, Portugal in 1917, essentially days before the Bolshevik Revolution. At that moment, it was Russia that was the locus of the tyranny. But that was then. This is now. The Queen of Heaven said Russia would spread her errors throughout the world. And what started in Russia did in fact spread throughout the world and is now being exposed here in the United States. As an aside, there's kind of a certain irony at work that the communist globalist forces in D.C. that comprise the body of the snake, well, they can't seem to shut their mouths about Russia. Russia is their scapegoat for everything. Trump collusion, election interference, Ukraine being the aggressor as they kept NATO expanding more and more eastward. Meanwhile, the political center of communism today is China, and yet we never hear a peep about them from that D.C. snake. Russia seems to be employed by them as a kind of deception, in fact, a sort of nothing to see here, folks, type strategy. Obama plants are everywhere in D.C., just as they were during Trump 1.0. The difference this time is they're being gone after. Wounded animals, the hunted, however, are most dangerous because they understand they have everything to lose. It is absolutely do or die. The screams from MAGA land are now for justice, for arrests, prosecutions, and hard, long prison terms. The corruption, the evil, is so vast and so enveloping that we wonder that even a 10-year Trump term would be enough to arrest everyone who needs to be arrested and imprison all of them. And that's imprisoning if they're lucky. The snake, a boa constrictor, is an apt image for Obama and his body of revolutionaries against freedom. And of course, ultimately God. It slowly wrapped its powerful body around the republic, and once it got into position, began tightening and tightening, crushing, squeezing the life force from the nation through a multitude of muscles, each one of those muscles coordinating with all the other muscles, and of course, directed by the head. Now, however, the prey has begun fighting back and has temporarily, at least, largely freed itself from the death vice. But the snake is not about to give up, as we hear throughout all of sacred scripture. Woe to you, earth, for the devil has come down to you in great fury. That's us. This is it. This is until the end of time. This snake has slithered toward this moment for more than a century here in America and was one moment away, one election, couple million votes from the final kill. It will not surrender. It must be killed.